the long run it is the way to go, but we're still at a very nascent stage, right? You've got to understand, even though AI research has been going on from the 60s, with ELIZA, which first came up, and then the person who created ELIZA said, you know what, it was rule-based and not AI. I did it just to show Alan Turing that he's talking through his hat. Okay? So, it will really depend on the kind of bots people like you build. If you can ensure good quality bots which give consistent output and consistent value to customers, and the customer experiences are consistently good, bots will be the way. But if we really mess this up and create very inconsistent or rogue bots, it could die out equally fast, right? The other question for you, very important to understand, why I just want to touch upon it, is what I'm calling the home bot or the digital assistant. Remember I when Satyan, the digital assistant versus the bot. Now many people are of the opinion that, you know what, all this ruckus about bots is being created by Microsoft and Facebook because they've been left behind by Apple and Google in the app space. And it's just sour grapes. They can't get into the app ecosystem. So they're saying, no, apps suck, go bots. Right? But, and that's just, I think the more pertinent point is they're saying, what's going to happen once Siri becomes smart enough? Then I could go to Siri for everything. Would I go to Siri and say, Siri, I want to buy a pair of shoes? Or would I go to Adidas's bot? Or would I go to Flipkart's bot? Would I go to Amazon's bot? Or I say, I don't want. There could be bot lethargy also, you know, just like we have app lethargy, there could very well be bot lethargy also at the end of the day. Hey, bother, too many bots, we have messages full of people trying to talk to me. And I say, no, I'm just happy, I'll deal with Siri. And this year, that's what a big announcement from Apple, and I'm sure they're looking at this, is they've opened up Siri for third-party integration. They never did this so far. They've said now third-party apps can integrate Siri into their apps. So I can say, Siri, go on to Amazon, and I have the Amazon app installed, let's assume. Go on to Amazon and buy me a packet of surf. And she should be able to do it. Siri is she, right? I think she. I don't know how it's supposed to. You can choose the voice and all, but what are you supposed to refer to Siri as? It is supposed to go and get it. So, which strategy is going to work? The Siri, Google Now, Alexa, you know Alexa? It's Amazon's assistant, Cortana, or the bots, the individual brands trying to build their own bots. I don't have an answer, but this is up there, how it's going to happen. How NLP, language parsing, machine learning, AI, how these shape up is a huge, huge factor in this. I think it's shaping up well, but it's still a... So what are the alternative streams that people are looking at now, which you should be aware of, is now the cloud, the mobile web and mobile apps are converging. Earlier, the mobile web experience was supposed to be so bad you needed apps. But now the mobile web experience has improved that almost 80% of new apps are being built through pure HTML5 web experiences, right? And it's equally good as an app. So that could be a way to just say, okay, not stop installing apps. We'll do everything through the mobile web. So you have cloud-based apps. They're basically cloud-based apps, right? You have Google is trying to push now the concept of instant apps, where you don't need to go to the store to download it, etc. You have the thing of short shelf life apps, which are gaining popularity also. Short shelf life apps are like, if I create an app for Euro 2016, it lasts till Euro 2016 and then I don't use it anymore. So I don't care if I use it more than 10 times, less than 10 times. It's a short shelf life app. I don't expect it to. Yeah, but the point is the stickiness is a problem today, right? People are saying, you know what, I give you a football score app. They're saying, you know what, people stick to news apps. If I get the score from my Google News or app or whatever, I don't want a football score app. Then you say, no, okay, there's a Euro 2016 app. You can get the scores, you can see live feed, you can see the greatest highlights of a match, you can buy Euro 2016 merchandise. And suddenly you're little in. You can play fantasy football league, whatever, I don't know. And it lasts till Euro 2016 lasts. After that, you get bored of it, I've got what I wanted to do from the app as a business. Right? So I don't need that long-term stickiness from the app. Okay, I'm just wrapping up, I know. Okay, this is not all about AI, right? I mean, I can't harp on this enough. People go just, hey, AI is all hogwash, it's not going to work. It's not all about AI. And a lot of people are trying to, Greylock Partners, one of the oldest and largest investment firms in the US, they're putting a lot of money into bots. And so this is Josh Ellman, his partner at Greylock. And this is what I'm trying to say. Texting to a computer that doesn't understand many things you're saying will be very aggravating. You will stop using it. So as people building bots, please make sure that you don't, AI is not the answer to everything. Oh, this, I will create this wit.ai console. I'll make my app, it'll learn everything. And it'll be like really nice. It doesn't happen that way, right? So the thing is to be careful not to overpromise, right? And don't ever, if you're doing any bot development, don't overpromise. Be very careful. Say, you know what, let's identify what is the need. Let's work on that. It'll grow over time. It'll become better, but promise low. How many of you recognize this woman, girl? Come on, someone has to.
Is that Microsoft what? The chatbot which was there?
This Tay.
Oh, yeah, something Tay.
Yeah, this is Tay. You guys don't know Tay? Tay is an acronym for thinking about you. This was an experimental bot created by Microsoft and through Bing Laboratories. She was supposed to mimic a 19-year-old girl. And they launched her on Twitter. And she went rogue. She didn't go rogue. There are numerous theories. One theory she went rogue, other theory somebody hacked into her. The point was she started off great. She would pick herself tweets to retweet. She would caption internet memes by herself and tweet them. But it happened so quickly. Within 24 hours, she became a racist, abusive Twitter personality. She put out obscene posts about Hitler and comparing Hitler to Obama, and so there's a lot of. They pulled it down in 24 hours, right? So great, and they're not given up on her. That's a good part of it, right? They just put her up. They're saying, okay, we're back to the drawing board with Tay. But this is how AI can go wrong, also, right? If you see the point is, and some people would say, and I would say it's a reflection that the world today on Twitter is racist and abusive. So she became racist and abusive. AI learns, and that's what AI does.
That's why AI is doing this too.
Yeah.
How bots are secure?
Sorry?
How much these bots are secure? Because it's a conversation, and you never know.
No, so these are conversational bots. See, that's why I'm saying there's a whole lot of. We watch too many movies, that's a problem. And we believe that somehow, like Jarvis from Iron Man, she will go into the internet and hack into everything. These are conversational bots.
About the RBS that you mentioned, right? So somebody can, mimic the RBS this thing, and just, we get so many fake calls these days that, give me your ID,
Yeah, so social phishing exists in huge.
Right.
Forget about complicated hackers. I have a person who called my dad in the middle of the afternoon. My dad was sleeping and he said, "Sir, आपका credit card वो कुछ करना है, number दीजिए." He gave him. And then when he woke up, he realized, what the hell did I just do? And then he had to cancel his card. It's very easy to hack people's financial information today. And you don't need AI to do it. Right? I mean, how many times have you heard, look at Ashley Madison's controversy. Right? How many of 1 million credit cards out on the internet? There was no AI involved in that. It was just hackers, regular people hacking into regular. Security is security is going to be number one for IT for a very long time, because you keep chasing a ball, right? There are a bunch of people who do it for fun to prove that you can't build good enough security, and the IT industry and people like you and other people keep trying to be one step ahead of them.
No, RBS being there, finally to get into the bot, and they're using it.
They use it for online support. They're not using it for transactions.
No, even the online transaction.
Not transactions, support.
Even for the support, it's all about asking the credit card number, password, or whatever. And people are trust.
I can tell you some pretty gruesome horror stories about bank security. It happens to be a field that I've observed from close quarters. But trust me, your bank is not half as secure as you think it is. Okay. It's just that people are not that interested in hacking into our accounts, so it's okay.
So the lighter question, the bots can play games with me?
Yeah, so recently they had, it's not a bot, a chat bot obviously can't, a chat bot which chats with you.
Okay.
It seeks information. If you build a bot to play a game, it's basically a program, it will play a game. So they recently, I think, they built a program to play this game called Go, and it beat the world champion of Go.
Okay. But again, the last game it lost.
Yeah, after that they said, no, some guy refused to play with it, then he agreed to play with it, and then it lost to him. What did I do?
As a programmer, what I need to start playing with it?
With bots, chatbots?
No, is it, the question is it like, how do you look at it? Is it like enterprise?
It is definitely enterprise. It is 100%. You've got to look at a lot of how you've got to look at how your customers. See, the point is, how will this come to you? This will come to you because your customers are going to have to move to messaging as a branding and a transaction with that. Let's say you have Walmart as your customer, or you have Ford as your customer, or you have McDonald's as whoever is your customer for IT. They are going to have to move to messaging as a platform. And once they move to messaging as a platform to interact with their customers, they're going to want you to develop solutions for it. And that's where you will need to then be able to develop solutions for it. So from your perspective, it is 100% enterprise, because most businesses are now looking at how do I get onto instant messaging. And if any of your customers come up with a requirement, you should be well placed to say that, you know what, yeah, we know the broad approaches of how to do it, and we'll figure out what you need.
Sir, I just have a specific requirement, say messaging system. We are trying to build a messaging system, one of the product. Can I replace bot with that?
No, a messaging system is a platform within which a bot exists.
Okay.
So a bot exists within Facebook Messenger, or within WhatsApp, or within Line, or Telegram, or Kik. These all, what you're saying is you want to develop a competitor to Telegram, Kik, Line, WhatsApp. That's a very different thing altogether. Then you're building a messaging platform. That has nothing to do with bots. So you're building the environment within which bots can exist. But then when you're building the messaging, like Facebook has had to create an SDK and everything for people to build bots in Messenger, which is what I showed you. So if you want your messaging application to gain popularity in business users, you will have to build that capability for other people to develop bots within your messaging platform.
Okay.
So coming to this question, what as a program we should be looking at?
No, I think today you should be looking at two things. One is, now I don't know how much, what is a typical kind of business Indicom does, but let's say there's a lot of, let's assume you also provide advisory consulting services, right? Then this is on top of mind of most of your customers in the Western world. And you know what, everything's gone dark social. How do I get on that? From an IT perspective, what do I need? So one is your ability to understand the space, be able to tell them that, yeah, you know what, it is going in that direction. So what you need to do is you need to build your presence in the messaging platform. You need to start having conversations with your customers in messaging. You have to build a strategy for that. Okay, so where are your customers? You want to start with Facebook, you want to go with Telegram, you want to go which regions are you operating in, which messaging platform is more popular in which region. So you build a strategy, and then building bots actually is very simple.
Okay.
Right? You need to be smart about creating stories, like I just told you. You have to create, you have to first, with a customer, I would first go and say, what is the experience you're looking for? Do you want to give some kind of online support? Do you want to just get opinion? Do you want to have a conversation which you want them to have with their friends? You want to use them as brand ambassadors? You want to actually transact, saying buy my shoes, buy my shirt, and buy it from messaging? What do you want to start doing? Accordingly, we can architect a bot around it, because the actual development of a bot is more a thinking process. How you want to build. It's not a technically massively challenging process, because there are very well defined ways in which people are building. And like his question, right? Most of your businesses are not going to want you to build a messaging platform. McDonald's messaging is not going to work. They're going to say, I've got to do it in WhatsApp or Facebook or somewhere. I'm not going to build my own messaging. Right? So that's where you've got to be able to figure out, work with them. And it'll get smarter. Today they offer generic structured templates. How can you tweak them further? As a developer, can you tweak it further? Because otherwise everyone's templates look the same, right? You can have a picture, text, content. Can you actually tweak it further? And that's where your engineering skills will come. That can you make it unique even within that environment?
once I develop a bot, will it be compatible with any of the browser supporting bots, or I have to develop it individually for each messaging?
Right now, each messaging app has its own platform. So if you develop a bot for Facebook, it's going to run on Facebook Messenger.
Actually, is there anything like framework, just .NET framework or something like that?
No, there's no common framework.
So any means Microsoft.
But see, the thing you've got to remember with all of these bots is the processing happens at your end.
No, no.
Right? Even with this Facebook Messenger.
No, no,
My
when we
first
say
class
the
is
bot,
that,
say for example, as a programmer, I want to start some application in bot. What is the basic steps? Means I have to download something.
So you will have to first decide what is the bot you're trying to
No,
do.
that's fine. We can
Yeah.
say.
So you build your stories, your conversation on it.
Then in a
Then you have to decide what are you going to build the actual processing engine in. You want to use Node.js, you want to use Python, you want to just use only their HTTP API calls. You have to build the processing at your end. You will have token IDs and everything generated by the platform. You'll have your app ID, token ID. Facebook has very detailed how to get your app IDs, authorization codes, everything.
No, I'm fine with that. So still, I want to know what is the Microsoft role in that. This
Microsoft
the-
is developing a similar platform in Skype. So that's what. So Microsoft wants to do it in Skype, and Microsoft has Cortana, which exists in the Windows 10 platform. I don't know if you've seen Cortana or not, but it's a Siri equivalent sitting in Windows 10, and it aims to be. Yes.
And I'm sure it's an interesting topic. We may have a lot more questions. I'll probably request Ashwin to spend about 15 minutes on a one-on-one. You can have one-on-one conversation. You know? The interest of the larger space, you all have taken time off from your work, and then you spend. And Ashwin has also spent a lot of time with us, having a lot more detail. It's a relatively new concept. A lot more information we'd like to share. So we will take a little more offline and spend a little more time. So we'll thank. I'll take this opportunity to thank Ashwin. I'll request Anish to come over and hand them a small token of appreciation from us.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you all for taking time. I'm sure I enjoyed a lot. So what I will suggest, request is if you can send a feedback to me and Magesh personally. Take 2-3 minutes from your time. Just send us feedback on what you felt about the session. So that forthcoming sessions when we do, we start refining, right? Because that will be more internal sessions will be effect. So thanks a lot again, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you all.
Thanks.